Okay, so we're going to do composition of functions now. So that starts with number 26, and then you got just a couple of them. So we're trying to do g of f of 1, g of f of 1. Change it into regular old function notation. Notice the order stays the same. This is not just multiplication. That's the big idea I'm trying to test on this, is that you don't just think this is g times f of 1. Right, now you don't have a rule for your g or your f. You have these tables. Okay, so they give you the inputs for each function, and they're the same, 1, 3, 5, and 6. And then they tell you the value of the output at those. So f of x has these values corresponding to those inputs. G of x has the following. Okay, and there doesn't have to be any rule for these, so don't go looking for a pattern or a rule. So if you're trying to do this, you think about g of f of 1, and you think about how f is first, then g, 1 is going in, and you're thinking about then what comes out. So you're going through f first. So what comes out is a 5 right here. So when you go over to the other table, you're not going to go to the 1, you're going to go to the 5 and see what comes out, and that would be a 6. 5 goes in, but then 6 goes out, okay? So the answer to this should be 6 and only 6. That would be the final answer on that one, okay? Now 27 gets into composition being done algebraically. So I'm just going to do one set of these. So let's say you have f of x equals some function, and then g of x equals a function that's given to you algebraically. You got the rule. And let's do part B. Part B says g of f of x. Okay, so they want the rule for that. So that's g of f of x. I'm going to write it using function notation. So that means I have to take x and go through the f function, and that would give me x plus 2. But then I still need to do g of that. And this doesn't mean multiplication. You're not just distributing. You're going to take the x plus 2 and put it right here where the x was. You're going to put an x plus 2 everywhere there was an x, okay? And so what you wind up with is 3 times the x plus 2 plus 1. And then you distribute and simplify everything and come up with a new rule, not a number, new rule, 3x plus 7, that represents g of f of x. All right, and then there was a corresponding question to that one, that was part D, that said find g of f of 1. So if you already have the rule right here, you could just plug a 1 in to get your answer, okay? Or you could go through it in pieces and plug a 1 in here and see that that would be 3, then plug a 3 in here and see that that would be 10, okay? So 27, I just did part B and part D on that. You should be able to fill in the gaps on the rest, okay? All right, so that's a good stop.